From iCarly to Drake and Josh to Zoey 101, if you grew up watching Nickelodeon in the 2000s, chances are Dan Schneider was behind it. But while the shows were feel-good, behind the scenes, not so much. Today we're diving deep into the untold truth about one of Hollywood's most controversial producers. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you love diving into the darker, stranger corners of pop culture history, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Now let's talk about the man, the myth, the scandal, Dan Schneider, the rise of a Nickelodeon titan. Dan Schneider started his career as an actor in the 80s, popping up in sitcoms like Head of the Class. But by the 90s, he made a crucial pivot from in front of the camera to behind it. That move would redefine children's television. With his company, Schneider's Bakery, he became the creative force behind a string of Nickelodeon hits: Kenan and Kel, The Amanda Show, Drake and Josh, Zoey 101, iCarly, Victorious, Sam and Cat, and more. The man was unstoppable, crafting an entire universe of quirky characters, slapstick humor, and catchphrases that shaped a generation. The legacy and the stars. It wasn't just the shows. Schneider's productions launched the careers of some of today's biggest names: Kenan Thompson, Ariana Grande, Amanda Bynes, Miranda Cosgrove, Victoria Justice, and Drake Bell, to name a few. The New York Times even dubbed him the Norman Lear of kids' TV, and Forbes called him the Willy Wonka of television. But as with any empire, behind the curtain, things weren't as magical as they seemed. The start of allegations. In the mid-2010s, whispers started surfacing online about the work environment on Schneider's sets. Then came the bombshell in 2024. Quiet on Set, The Dark Side of Kids' TV, a chilling 5-part docuseries that brought those rumors to light. Former child actors and staff detailed a toxic atmosphere. Allegations included verbal abuse, misogyny in the writers' rooms, and inappropriate jokes and behavior from Schneider himself. 2 convicted child predators had also worked on his sets, raising serious questions about Nickelodeon's oversight. Specific accusations. Among the most disturbing revelations was Drake Bell's account. Bell, known for Drake and Josh, revealed that he was sexually abused at 15 by Brian Peck, a Nickelodeon dialogue coach. Peck's history and employment on multiple sets shocked viewers and exposed massive flaws in vetting processes. Writers like Christy Stratton and Jenny Kilgan spoke out about rampant sexism, underpayment, and harassment. Jennette McCurdy's 2022 memoir didn't name Schneider directly, but painted a portrait of an abusive creator she called the Creator, widely believed to be Schneider. How did Nickelodeon respond? Nickelodeon conducted an internal investigation in 2017, which concluded that while no sexual misconduct by Schneider was found, he was difficult to work with and prone to angry outbursts. In 2018, the network quietly cut ties, reportedly paying him $7 million to depart. But the Quiet on Set documentary forced them to address it publicly, stating they've since implemented new child safety protocols and vetting procedures. Dan Schneider's reaction. In the wake of the docuseries, Schneider released a 20-minute apology video. He admitted to being arrogant, demanding massages on set, and pulling cruel pranks, but he firmly denied any sexual misconduct or intentional harm. Schneider has since filed a defamation lawsuit against the producers of Quiet on Set, claiming the series wrongly implied he was complicit in the sexual abuse cases on his sets. He insists he was unaware of those crimes and condemns them. Industry reckoning. The revelations around Schneider have ignited a broader conversation about child safety in Hollywood. Critics argue that the power imbalance between child actors and powerful producers made it easy for abuses, both verbal and physical, to occur unchecked. It's a wake-up call for networks, production companies, and viewers alike. How many other untouchable figures have existed unchecked because of ratings and profits? What does this mean now? For viewers, it means reevaluating those beloved shows. Innocent jokes once brushed off as quirky now feel uncomfortable. Networks are reassessing content archives, and conversations about consent, child labor protections, and mental health resources for young stars are finally happening. The culture of Nickelodeon in the 2000s. To fully understand how these abuses went unchecked, you have to look at the culture of Nickelodeon at the time. It was an era dominated by ratings wars, where hit shows meant millions in advertising revenue. Stars were plucked from obscurity and turned into overnight sensations. The stakes were high, and that pressure trickled down to the youngest performers. Dan Schneider was considered indispensable. His shows consistently topped ratings charts. When someone wields that much power, accountability can fall by the wayside. Former employees described a work environment where speaking up against Schneider felt impossible. Careers, reputations, and futures hung in the balance. Patterns in the industry. This isn't just a Nickelodeon problem. The entertainment industry has a long documented history of protecting powerful figures at the expense of vulnerable talent. From classic Hollywood scandals to the more recent Me Too movement, these stories follow a pattern: powerful men, silent victims, and complicit systems. The Schneider controversy has amplified calls for reform in children's entertainment. Many are now advocating for stricter set safety standards, mandatory third-party HR representatives, and on-set counselors for young performers. What happened to the stars? So where are those child stars now? Some, like Kenan Thompson, have thrived. Others, like Amanda Bynes and Jeanette McCurdy, have spoken openly about the lasting trauma of their experiences. Bynes faced public mental health struggles and legal battles. McCurdy walked away from acting entirely, chronicling her toxic childhood in her best-selling memoir. Ariana Grande, perhaps the biggest breakout, has distanced herself from Nickelodeon entirely, rarely commenting on her early TV career. Drake Bell's revelations, both about his own abuse and his subsequent legal issues, add another tragic layer to this story. The value of these conversations? Some critics argue that dredging up these old stories serves no purpose, but survivors and advocates disagree. Shining a light on these abuses ensures history doesn't repeat itself. It empowers other victims to come forward and pressures industries to overhaul outdated, harmful practices. The Quiet on Set documentary wasn't just about Schneider. It was about every silent injustice on every children's set. Its impact will likely reverberate for years, changing how kids' entertainment is made and managed. Public reaction and pop culture. Fallout. Since the documentary aired, public reaction has been intense. Fans have taken to social media to express shock, disbelief, and anger. Nostalgia for those old shows has been tainted for many. Memes, Twitter threads, and TikTok breakdowns of subtle clues in old episodes have gone viral. Nickelodeon's reputation has taken a hit. While the network has attempted to distance itself from the scandal, questions remain about how much executives knew and chose to ignore. For audiences, it's prompted a broader discussion about the importance of vetting powerful creatives and ensuring checks and balances exist in all corners of the industry. The future of kids' entertainment. What does this mean for the next generation of child stars? Hopefully, lasting change. Industry insiders report that networks have already started overhauling hiring practices, implementing new on-set protocols, and increasing transparency. Actors' unions and advocacy groups are pushing for even tougher protections, including mandatory psychological evaluations for showrunners, anonymous tip lines for cast and crew, and third-party audits of children's programming environments. It's a necessary reckoning that's long overdue. So what do you think? Should Dan Schneider's shows be removed from streaming? Was Nickelodeon's response too little? Too late? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. If you found this deep dive eye-opening, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and smash that notification bell so you never miss a story like this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.